Hi. So I think it's safe to say 2020 was a shit show. COVID, lockdowns, racism, the big orange guy, that guy. Yeah, 2020 on the whole was not good. Arguably, the only good thing to come out of the year that would not end was so many people answering the call of boredom by taking up their passion projects. Maybe you started a podcast. Maybe you finally took the leap and opened that Etsy shop you've always dreamed of. Or maybe, just maybe, you decided to really take up being a writer. That you were gonna sit down and finally write that novel. That one book that you've always wanted to write. You're gonna sit down, you're gonna clickety-clack at some keys, and by the end of the year, you were gonna have a novel. And then, your old pal ADHD shows up. And he reminds you that writing requires being able to sit still for long periods of time. And you don't have that skill. You can't sit still for long. That's insanity. You think you can sit still long enough to write, to clock out 200 some odd pages of, you're funny. You're funny, mister. My finger is wiggling really weird. Is that weird to you guys, how it wiggles? Is that too wiggly? It's like that magic pencil trick, how it turns into rubber. But boy, oh boy, did ADHD not stop me from trying. Good evening, or morning, or whatever time of the day it happens to be. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lego Mike Grego, and I am a terrible writer. And I don't say that because of the quality of my content. I say that because of my ability to make the content. Since I was 9 years old, and I learned that someone made Star Wars, someone wrote it, someone filmed it, I have wanted to create. I wanted to write and filmmake and make these beautiful worlds and create, and my brain decides it's not gonna stop creating. Story after story after story after story after story. My brain has not stopped since I was 9 years old making things up. There are times I cannot sleep because my brain just won't take the time and the common courtesy to just fuck off for a few hours. But as a result, I have some amazing material, some amazing stories up on this old noggin here. All of the story material, and I mean all of it. Some random character in a short story that I wrote when I was 12 sneezes. I know about it. I know. This guy right here, I know. How am I doing so far? Am I being too crazy? Not crazy enough? What do you think? Have I acknowledged you and now you're gonna come get love? Hi, how are you? I know every twist and every turn of every story I've ever written. But when it comes to taking those ideas from the old thinker box, when it comes to putting those words onto paper, onto a Word document, that is where everything falls apart. In 2020, I started a sci-fi novel called Sentinel, and I had this goal to have at least a rough draft done by the end of the year. Ideas poured in and wouldn't stop. That one book quickly evolved into a quadrilogy, 4 books. 4 books. That's quadrilogy. Those 4 books then mutated into a trilogy of 3 books, which then mutated into an ongoing comic book graphic novel type situation, which then mutated into its current iteration, which is 15 books. A 15-book series. 15 books! And I can't finish one. No. I started writing not 1, not 2, not 3, not even 4, but 5 different comic book number 1s. 5 comic books. It was originally like an anthology thing, then I'm like, screw that, let's take each of these stories, individual stories, and clap them together into their own, number 1s, big ol' issues. Who's gonna fund these projects? 7 different movie scripts were started. At one point, I started writing a musical. Dozens and dozens of unfinished YouTube scripts litter my Google Docs account. I started a children's book about a penguin who's a detective. I started a fantasy novel, I started a spy thriller novel, I started a western, a D&D campaign, a stand-up act, an audio drama podcast, and a video game script, just to name a few of the projects that I started, and just as quickly as I started them, I abandoned because writing them down on paper is an impossible task. I don't know how, who's the guy that wrote 50 Shades of Grey? That guy. I don't know how that guy did it. I am the Professor Calamitous of writing. I cannot finish anything. The second my fingers hit keys or I pick up a pencil, all gone. All of it gone out the window, and it's run over by a truck. My brain regularly leaps from one obsession to the next. 1 second, I go from wanting to collect all of the classic Doctor Who DVDs, to the next second, I throw those all aside and I go, I want to learn how to cook a 3-course gourmet meal, please. What are all of these different spoons for? I need to know right now. And this is reflected in my writing style as much as it is every other facet of my life. Sentinel, my big sci-fi epic, originally started as a children's comic about a little girl and her friends exploring space. That concept somehow mutated into a story about a hard-boiled detective in outer space trying to solve a heist, a big old heist. And that somehow became just the overall homage to all of my favorite sci-fi stuff, from Star Wars and Doctor Who to Dragon Ball Z, of all things. That was the original Sentinel book, which became a quadrilogy, which became a trilogy once I realized that my entire concept for book 3 made a much more compelling concept for a couple of chapters in comparison to making it an entire book. Then over the summer, I'm like, you know what I want to do? I want to actually make this a comic book. I want it to be a monthly, like, issue comic book, or like give it like a 6-month volume type situation. And it took on this cartoony and comical style that I just despised. I grew to hate everything about that adaptation, and then just went back to the drawing board completely. But by that point, I had started writing a spin-off series in that same universe. So I merged the two concepts together to create the current iteration of Sentinel that has 15 books. And counting. Oh, and did I mention, each book, I'm also writing a script for it for an audio drama, so that I can release an audio CD with the book when they are released, because that makes absolute perfect sense and isn't insane at all. I love writing. It is one of my favorite things in the world to do. It's one of the most rewarding parts of my life. I just wish I could finish a damn script! Or a book! Or a piece of fan fiction. Just for the love of God, please, finish something. There really isn't a point to this video. It's just, I need to complain, because I keep sitting down to write any of these projects, and I keep completely stalling. I get the most drive when I'm at work, when I'm working, like actual like day-to-day 9-to-5 working. That's when I go, I wish I could write right now. I can't do that because I'm doing this. But you have all this free time at home that you can't do it, and you sit down and you just block and lock. So I guess long and the short of it is, do you guys have any like tips? Who has tips for me on how to reel in my brain? Because it's just like, it's been a lifetime of just not being able to finish my stories, or the stories constantly evolving and changing and getting added to so often that there is no hope. There's no way in hell that I could ever finish any of these things, because there's so much there. There's so much there. Oh my God, there's so much there. There is so much there. Oh, this chair is so comfy. What do I do? What do I do? Oh, hi, puppy. Come and say hi. Come and hang out. Come hang out with me, huh? Come to be a butthead and do butthead things. Baby puppy wuppy, you're so cute. Cute. Fluffy, floppy, and floppy ears. So until the psychiatric professional who can successfully fix my problems watches this video and can diagnose me in the comments down below, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up in the button system clicky bar thing down there below. Leave a comment if you have any thoughts, feelings, good, bad, happy, sad about this 5-minute video that you just watched about a complete lunatic ranting about his own inept ability to write. Just put it all out there. Let's start a dialogue, or make me cry. Whatever floats your boat, I'm here for it. Whatever floats your boat, I'm here for it. And until the next time I want to talk like a lunatic at a camera, I've been Lego Mike Grego. You have been awesome, and I'll see you later. Bye bye. What the fuck was that?